Nearly 240 hostages are still being held in Gaza by the Hamas terrorist group as Israel continues its attacks there. Family members of some of those hostages were in New York earlier this week pleading for their safe return. WKRG News 5's Shimani Baker spoke with a rabbi from Mobile who was there in New York and discusses the power of prayer.
An annual convention in New York for Rabbis of the Chabad turned into a sacred time for prayer with Israeli families whose loved ones are being held hostage by Hamas. Rabbi Yosef Goldwasser returned back to Mobile Wednesday after being there for the past week.
The Chabad of Israel was thinking, they got together, they were thinking, what could we do in order to help out the families of the hostages? And they said, what better thing could we do than to bring all the families of the hostages to New York so they could pray.
And that's exactly what happened. On Monday, busloads of roughly 170 people traveled thousands of miles to New York with signs and T-shirts printed with their loved ones' faces, pleading and praying for their safe return home.
In Judaism, there's a tradition that goes back thousands of years that when someone is in a time of need, dealing with a hard time, then they pray by the resting place of a very special tzaddik, a very special righteous Jewish leader.
The resting place is called Ohel, where families lay down their worries. Rabbi Goldwasser says the war between Israel and Hamas isn't just physical, and the power of prayer plays a major role in the chaos dissolving.
It's a spiritual fight, and the way you deal with a spiritual fight is by adding on as much in spirituality as possible. And that's why they brought them over.
Rabbi Goldwasser reflects on his time in New York with the families who arrived with so much uncertainty and left with support.
It makes it really hit home. It's really hard to think about what they're going through, but I think being there for them and being with them helps them out, and it helps the world out.
In Mobile, Shimani Baker, WKRG News 5.